Ladies and gentlemen, first leg is Jamie to throw first. Game on.
But they did meet at a Players' Championship event last month, and Jamie Lewis earned a 6-2 success over the Bully Boy. And that is while Michael Smith has been in a hot streak of form.
45.
The head-to-head is closer than you might think. 7-5 in Smith's favour. So Lewis won't be rolling over. And with Michael
96.
Smith hampered by that injury, yeah, it may be the case that it gets more difficult the longer he's in the tournament.
Yes, 4 games in one day for those players.
85.
The 2 players who make it right the way through to the final on a European Tour Sunday.
We have seen some sensational stuff so far here on this Sunday session in Sindelfingen. But this pair have been, if you put it alongside everything else we've seen, perhaps lukewarm.
140.
Yeah, the standard has been so high today.
Yeah, nothing like what we've seen from Van Gerwen and Chisnell from these two yet.
133.
But win the match and you're in the same round. I'm taking on Michael Van Gerwen, looking to be the first man to win on this stage twice.
100.
Win the tournament twice.
132.
1-3-2, the target for Michael Smith to get an early break.
94.
1-3-1 then
131.
for Lewis to try to open up his account. So Smith then,
97.
does he go straight for double 19? Looks like he's looking at it.
Well, he might split it now. Well, it looked completely blocked. I thought that he might opt to play safe with a second dart and make sure he had a clear bed to aim at. Jamie Lewis does decide to split.
18.
But he can't hit either, so the Bully Boy
16.
gets another chance to break the throw in leg 1. And this time he takes it.
Michael Smith. Second leg is Michael
Breaking
through first.
right at the start of the game. We saw Michael reach that epic final in Saarbrücken, beaten by
140.
German hero Max Hopp 8-7. That really was a fantastic final. And then reaching the quarter-final in Austria, in Graz last time out, beaten by Joe Cullen.
60.
And it's the first time we've seen Jamie in European Tour action this year. He did reach a final in Gibraltar back in 2013, where he lost to Phil
140.
Taylor. And it's the Gibraltar Darts Trophy that is the European Tour honour that Michael Smith lifted in 2017.
Lift off here for Lewis on the 180 count. It's the first time actually we've seen him on stage at all since his incredible run to the semi-finals of the World Championship.
140.
Did play in the UK Open finals but didn't make it to a stage game. Slightly different format to most TV events in Minehead.
131. Michael Leroy, 81.
Smith to double his lead.
Game shot on the second leg. Michael Smith. Third leg is Jamie to throw first.
Smith looking good at the moment. Doesn't appear to be suffering any pain, but as you say, a long way to go and a long night
96.
if he does progress to take on MVG in the first semi-final.
96.
Dutch qualifier Danny Noppert taking on the number 7 seed Joe Cullen next. Then Simon Whitlock against James Wade. That should be another goodie. That will make up our second semi-final pairing later. The winners of those 2 matches.
100.
Yeah, Whitlock, another player who's been in the wars. There you see only a couple and a half legs into this, but
100.
Michael Smith so far has upped his game. And whoever does win, if Michael Van Gerwen is in the same kind of mood as he was 15 minutes ago, we'll have to up it even more
60.
to try and claim the scalp of the world number 1.
134.
Of course, there's that little race going on for the World Cup places too between some of the players left in this tournament. Michael Smith has just seen Dave Chisnell knocked out, who's a rival for the World Cup spot for England.
28.
James Wade 2 in action later on. That'll be held here in Germany too, of course. One of the tournaments that really
131.
brought PDT darts to this country. And how it's grown from there has been quite remarkable. Jamie Lewis could, if he were to go all the way and do a ferret.
41. Michael require 40.
Could make the Welsh team.
Yeah, in place of Johnny
Shot
Clayton.
the
But
third leg.
right
Michael
now, he's got it all to do
One leg is Michael
against
to throw
Michael
first.
Smith.
Game on.
Because the Bully Boys race into a 3-0 lead and has the darts to
55.
turn that into 4.
Not the best of starts from Michael Smith to this leg, though.
100.
And a ton in response from Jamie Lewis.
Well, Lewis has not really got going at all. Michael Smith averaging
100.
around 20 points more than his opponent. As you mentioned, it is kind of uncharted territory for Jamie Lewis this year.
97.
Michael Smith, one of the most successful players
58.
on the European Tour. Added a 4th title last year. He felt that he should have added another one in Saarbrücken.
58.
Filling up the bed for his first maximum of the match. Gets him down to 108 and responding with his own maximum, Jamie Lewis.
Has that given him a chance here? Will it give him a chance? It will.
51. Jamie
And this, you feel, has to go 66 to break here. Different game completely. Finds the 42. Looking for the 24. Finds the 18, and that's not what was required. And Michael Smith will get a couple of darts.
Oh, well.
47.
Probably wasn't expecting to come back and didn't make the most of.
We saw Lewis split on 34, hitting the 2, but he's gone straight for the double 3. Well, it should be out of the way, that one.
4.
See there on the camera angle, he did have a clear bed to aim at. But he will probably feel that that chance was the opportunity to get back into this match, and Michael Smith is having it all too easy in a European Tour quarter-final.
£4,000 for the losing quarter-finalists on the European Tour. £6,000 for the semi-finalists, and then the runner-up getting £10,000. The winner picking up the European Darts Grand Prix trophy and £25,000 in prize money.
And this will be just what the doctor ordered for Michael Smith too, because he'll want to get this game over and done with as quick as possible and then rest up
58.
before his semi-final against MVG. So let's see if he can show a bit of a ruthless streak here.
42.
And dispatch of Jamie Lewis in double quick time.
And Jamie really has been unable to repeat some of the form he's shown so far this weekend, particularly in knocking out Daryl Gurney
96.
in the second round yesterday. It was pushed all the way by Paul Nicholson this afternoon before coming through 6-5. Lewis on a bogey
59.
number.
Yeah, Michael Smith not, but Lewis in a strong position despite that to get his first leg on the board. Certainly stronger now.
133. Mike Leary 164.
Well, this is the biggest we've seen. Darren Webster had this check out against Michael Van
92.
Gerwen. Smith's not going to take it out, so Lewis wants double 16 to finally get a 1 next to his name. There it is.
Jamie Lewis. See if they get
So
Michael through first.
he'll avoid the
Game on.
ignominy of a whitewash, and who knows, may start to claw his way back into this game.
86.
We have seen players come from similar deficits this weekend. But just
41.
really struggling to find the treble 20 bed with too much regularity at the moment.
60.
Smith's standard has declined as the game's gone on. So if Lewis can raise it just a little, he might yet make this match competitive.
81.
As I said, he's beaten Michael Smith 5 times. He's met across
59.
every kind of tournament, development tour, TV major. Lewis getting a win against the Bully Boy at the World Grand Prix back in 2015.
44.
And the most recent time as well. Just hasn't really shown any signs of
95.
something sparking yet, has he?
No, in this leg, neither player has really pulled up any trees in this leg.
46.
Again, Jamie Lewis going around the houses trying to find a big treble and failing to do so. But here we go. Michael starting to
139.
turn the screw. Then we'll come back for a 5-1 lead. If he can take out the 62. Jamie just retrieving his dart and composing himself and doing the right thing by doing that, but the
121.
third dart just
Mike Leary
a fly up.
62.
And it's costly because if Michael Smith doesn't go out, Lewis won't even have a chance to
42.
take this leg in this visit.
Yeah, that was disappointing to hit that single one, to say the least, because Smith with 3 darts in hand for double 10,
57.
which will put
Mike
him
Leary
1
120.
leg away from victory.
Fish on the 6th leg, Michael Smith.
Well, it's his favourite double,
7th leg is Jamie to throw first. Game on.
and he's a huge favourite to reach the semi-finals here. Michael Van Gerwen waiting in the wings. He could be up against the Bully Boy, who has had some great games against the world
140.
number 1 on the European Tour. But he's nowhere near his best. Hasn't been
96.
in this tournament. More than enough to have a handsome advantage over Jamie Lewis, so hasn't got going at all. You must feel for
45.
someone like Dave Chisholm, who's just played a match like he has, and he wanders into the practice room and sees Michael
96.
Smith averaging 92 and change and absolutely breezing through seemingly to the semi-finals.
Yes, and Michael, well, I'm sure Michael will be well aware when Dan
57.
speaks to him after the game that he will need to raise his game considerably against MVG if MVG repeats the form he showed against
95.
Chizzy at the start of this evening session.
Oh yeah, Dan made the point before that we've got Michael Smith and Simon Whitlock nursing injuries in between matches here. Are you a
96.
subscriber to this Beware the Injured Sportsman nonsense, Mike? I think I've just given my opinion on it, but let's have yours.
17.
Well, they could be out with a point to prove, play through the pain barrier, the adrenaline. Once the adrenaline pumps,
Well, that last visit from
pain
Michael
stops.
Smith was just painful.
Yeah.
125.
So again, a choice for Jamie Lewis.
Jamie Lewis, 38.
Whether to go straight for it or split. He was successful earlier on. Now he's having to move across. Can he see enough of that? Well, he got close, but not close enough. And this game has not been close enough for Jamie Lewis. Can still be done.
57.
Well, he went for
Jamie
the
Lewis, 32.
smallest target there. He could have gone for a treble 18 to leave himself the double. Wrong bed.
Oh,
Game show on the 7th leg.
Well,
Well.
exhibition stuff. Got there in the
I think
end.
it's Michael to throw first. Game on.
to keep it going. But Michael throwing here at the start of the 8th leg.
140.
And as you say, we're keen to get the job done as quickly as possible to rest up before his semi-final. If he does
95.
make it over the line.
It's just a shame that Jamie Lewis hasn't been able to up his game a little bit,
60.
because this could be much, much more competitive, considering that Michael Smith is down in the low 90s now.
$58.
There, a raise of the eyebrows from Michael Smith. It's back. The stuff he was producing for the first couple of legs.
Yeah, as if to say, well, why haven't I been able to do that for the last few legs? But
60. Michael Lewis, 121.
1-2-1. Needn't go.
81.
So he just leaves himself tops. And when he returns, we'll have the chance to finally put an end to this.
97. Michael Lewis, 40.
and Jamie's still not down to a finish, so he does have time if he needs it. But he'll look to take out double top here, Michael Smith.
No
Can't do
score.
it this time. And a big shot here would put pressure on Smith. Just like that.
139.
Was that enough to knock him out of his stride? No,
Big shot.
is the
And the
answer.
match,
Michael
Michael
Smith
Smith.
does move through. It wasn't a classic. It wasn't up there with the kind of stuff we've seen here at the European Darts Grand Prix, but it was more than enough for Michael Smith